RC from the Mountaintop Joiner Shop here. This video is the fourth and final installment of my 5 P's of Furniture Design video series, and we'll be covering positioning and preservation. As always, it helps to watch the introduction video first, so if you haven't done that, I'll put a link in the description to that one. And if you've watched the entire series to this point and have gotten something out of it, please hit like and subscribe. My channel is still pretty new and I need all the help I can get. With that out of the way, here's positioning. Ever hear the phrase getting your ducks in a row like it's a positive thing we should all be doing? They look cute all lined up like that, don't they? It's a good thing when the stars are aligned, no? Seems like a good omen. How about hitting the bullseye? It's literally the only way to achieve perfect symmetry in a game of darts. Got a fetish for old libraries? With all those books perfectly organized in row after row after row after row? The human brain really seems to appreciate a well-organized scene. It's less work for it to figure out what's going on. We could take advantage of this and design more attractive furniture through the exercise of a concept I like to call positioning. Positioning concerns the alignment of decorative elements within a design. Simply put, in good design, things tend to line up with other things. In a chest of drawers, the pulls tend to align both horizontally and vertically. The rails and stiles of adjacent doors do the same. The waterfall miter joint of a slab coffee table is typically done such that the grain lines are continuous across the outside of the joint. The alignment of design elements can be radial or asymmetric as well. My wall mirror contains examples of both. It is an asymmetric design, and any asymmetric design element in it aligns left. The inspiration for this came from the work of Carlo Bugatti, who made dramatic use of asymmetry in some of his chair backs, wall treatments, and cabinets. There is also radial alignment originating from the center of the stylized flower head on the door of my mirror. The door handle and the drawer pulls align with it vertically, and the row of double copper columns across the upper face of the mirror align with it horizontally. You may also notice radial alignment in the fluting on a column or originating from the center point of a carved bowl. Simply put, in good design, things tend to line up with other things. That's positioning. Remember when Van Halen broke up and David Lee Roth got replaced by Sammy Hagar and their fan base was thrown into utter disarray? You know? Oh shit, I'm old, aren't I? Well, you'll just have to take my word for it. The point is, furniture designs are kind of like that. If one leg has one grain pattern and the rest have another, it's like you change the bass player halfway through recording an album. People will notice, or at least their brains will. It's disorienting. Conversely, a creative theme that repeats itself in subtle ways throughout an album or furniture design is like inviting the person encountering it to continue following along, and as they do, those subtle repetitions provide them a pleasing familiarity with the material. This invitation is what I like to call preservation. Preservation concerns the use of decorative themes that repeat themselves within a given individual design and across a given style. There's also a sense in which preservation is closely related to positioning and proportion, given that all these can be employed to establish repetitive themes. On the wall mirror, you'll notice several small design elements that repeat themselves across the piece. Among them are circular elements in copper plate or infilled copper tubing, quarter-inch columns in copper, horseshoe arches or semicircles, dental-style moldings, ebonized walnut outlines and cock beading. These design elements can each be small in and of themselves, but when repeated across the piece, they can make a big statement. When repeated across several pieces, they can even make the style. As Charles Eames said, the details are not the details, they make the design. Who can imagine Queen Anne furniture without the cabriole leg? Or Federal without the string inlay? What would Shaker be without turned wooden mushroom knobs? Or Art Nouveau without its sweeping asymmetric curves? Preserving the details is what preserves the style, and hopefully now you have some useful pointers on how to create a style of your own. So that's it, the 5 P's of furniture design. Let's do a quick recap of them and try to tie it all together. Proportion is letting practical considerations dictate the overall dimensions of a piece, and from there on out using whole number proportions to help you right size the rest of the design elements in that piece. Palette is choosing and sticking to a number of materials that are concurrent with the complexity of the design and play well with the design's intended surroundings. Projection is using design elements that either project out or recess in from the face of the piece, taking advantage of both light and shadow, as well as creating a tactile experience. Positioning is lining up design elements with design elements elsewhere in the piece to present a harmonious, less disorienting overall look. Preservation is a repetition of decorative themes, both large and small, that give a piece a coherent style. Repeat those same themes across several pieces of furniture, and you may well be on your way to creating a style that is uniquely your own. Once you wrap your head around these concepts, they'll become your go-to strategies throughout the design process and streamline the process considerably. I hope they help you the way they help me, and give you the confidence to go out to your shops and create something beautiful. Now, if you like what you saw here, please hit like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. Also, hit the little bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I release a new video. And if you didn't like what you saw here, keep it to yourself, pal. Or check out one of my other videos. You might like one of those. Thank you for watching.